Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Riding Every Stride. So today is a little bit of a story time. I just got off work and I'm out with Merlin for his 15-minute hand walk for today. And if you're not familiar with my Instagram, I will put it right here. It's been kind of an eventful past few months, and I thought I would fill all of my YouTube people in on what's been going on. So flashback to October, which really wasn't all that long ago, probably about the 13th, was mine and Merlin's 1 year anniversary for how long we've been riding together. And it went great. We'd had a lesson that Tuesday with my trainer Casey, and everything went really well. He was really good. We did mini jumps, more like trot jumps. He doesn't really jump it unless he's cantering, but it was great. We had a great ride. Everything went really well. And then fast forward 5 days later, I hadn't been out to see him yet, so I was looking at getting a new job. And I had just heard back from my job, and they had accepted my application, and I was really excited to start finally working somewhere other than my barn. And then maybe a few minutes after that, I ended up getting a text from my trainer, Andrea. She's kind of over all the riding lessons, like head trainer. And she texted me, and I wasn't planning on going out to the barn because I didn't have a need to. And the text said that Merlin was lame. Now, a little explanation on why she was pulling him out. So Merlin at the time was doing full training with my trainer, which meant Monday, Wednesday, and Friday he got worked, like his own schooling session with the trainers, and then Tuesdays and Fridays I had my riding lessons with him. He's happily hanging out behind me. And it was Monday, and they pulled him out. He was going to have his schooling session under saddle with Casey, and she pulled him out, and he came out of his stall three-legged lame. Well, it was kind of odd because that Friday, before they'd taken him out, I'd had my lesson. Everything went great, no problems. Then Saturday came around. He got turned out with all the other horses. There's about 20 of them that go out in a field. You can see behind me one of the big fields that we use. And then Sunday, no one came to see him. He got seen by the barn manager to give him breakfast and dinner, and he seemed fine. He came out of turnout prancing, no problems. Come here, Merlin. And everything seemed fine, nothing was wrong. And then they pulled him out Monday, and he was lame. So there's kind of a speculation on which horse in turnout may have kicked him, but we're not going to name any names just because we don't really know for sure. My trainer recommended that we take him to see the vet because she had a feeling that something was broken. And I was a little stressed out and I was a little worried. So we drove down to the barn to come see him. And when I got there, my trainer was there, and she said that she recommended that I didn't take him out of his stall because he was just in so much pain. Well, decided not to, and I did some thinking. I called my parents just to see what they recommended, and in the end we decided to take him up to our vet, my trainer's vet, Jace. My trainer was gracious enough to offer to trailer him up there, as it was her vet and she knew where to go. Well, she took him after I'd left the barn, and I'd been home for a couple hours. And then I got a phone call from her, and she said that he'd been x-rayed and they got in the news, and she said that it was best that I come out and see him for myself and talk to Jace without, like, over the phone or hearing it through my trainer and seeing it for myself. Got in the car, headed out down to her vet, and sure enough, brought up on the computer screen was an x-ray of his right stifle on the back, and his stifle was fractured. And on the way down there, I kind of prepared myself for the worst case scenario, like I'd have to put him down or stuff like that. And he was in a lot of pain. I'll insert some pictures up in the corners over here of the pictures that I got that Tuesday, or no, that Monday, when I went to go see him. They're not super clear. It was really dark, and I'm a crying mess in these just because I was so worried about him. And we did some talking, and he stayed with Jace overnight, and we giving me time to decide what I wanted to do for him. And I was pretty heartbroken. Merlin is my first horse, and I'd only just made it a year, and then he got hurt, so I really wasn't sure what to do. And then I got called by my trainer, who was with Andrea and Casey were together at the time when they called me. They kind of started talking me through it, just seeing what I wanted to do, what would be best for him. And at that point, I had ended up deciding that the best act of kindness that I could give him would be for humane euthanasia, because Merlin's the kind of horse that's very active and loves to be out in big open fields, running around, jumping. Even though he's still really new to jumping, he loves it, and it's his favorite thing to do. And I couldn't just leave him stalled for the rest of his life, because there was a chance that he wouldn't heal, and if he did heal, he wouldn't heal sound, so he would have to be stalled for the rest of his life, like no turnout, nothing, and it wasn't real great. Well, the next day that we went out and I had decided to euthanize him, I'd asked my trainers if they would be there with me, because they had been a huge part in where Merlin came from when I first got him. Being real stubborn, real head shy, no personality, not a whole lot. And we got out there, and believe it or not, we go out there, and here's Merlin prancing around, a little sore in his stall. And then we went in to see him and say our goodbyes and everything, because again, we thought we were going to lose him. And then Jace said that he wanted to take him out and see how he was walking, just because it was a complete personality shift from the way I'd seen him the night before. Well, we turned him out, and there was a little hitch in his step, and he was a little sore and stiff, and Jace made the command decision that we were going to give him a chance. So we decided, with the help of my trainer, he would go on a joint supplement that she has for all the horses that do jumping, just as a support. And since he broke it right next to the joint, don't worry, I will insert some pictures of the x-rays. And we put him on joint support supplements, just to give him a little more support for his healing. And then it was permanent stall rest for a good little while, several months at least. And as you'll see from these x-rays, in this area you can see that there is a bone chip that looks like it's completely broken away. And we really didn't know what would come of it. We went under the assumption that his body would probably try and push it out, and we would go for just a light sedation when it got to that point, and we would pull the bone out, and then he'd get stitched up, and it would get cleaned and everything so that it could heal over. And then we kind of just decided that it would go from there and see where it went. And as you can tell, we're still doing Mr. Man's 15-minute walks. He's happily grazing with me right now. So at that point, we kind of decided that more than likely I wouldn't be able to ride Merlin again. And let alone at that point ever jump again, just because it was a pretty bad break and how close it was to a very important joint for him. But as you can tell, he is definitely still very happy, happily munching away at the grass. And while he definitely hates the stall rest, he's moving a lot better. The joint supplements have helped. He has been off them for a little bit. You'll have to stay tuned for my new upcoming video on the results of his x-rays and his second set of x-rays and how that all went, which I promise will be out very, very soon. And currently, right now, I am waiting for my shipment from Omega Equine. No, I'm not sponsored, though I would love to be. He's got some joint supplements coming from Omega Equine to just help with bone stability, bone growth, hoof growth, and then joint support. It's their vitality supplement, and I've heard good things, so I thought I'd give it a chance. And he's not a very picky eater, so he'll eat just about anything. I want to thank you guys so much for watching and following this story with me. It was kind of long, kind of short, a little bit in the middle. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any questions for me about Merlin or what kind of discipline I ride, you can ask those down below. And if you have any video suggestions for me, you can also drop them down below. Whether it's some challenges or anything like that. I'm hoping that I will get to do a back in the saddle video with him at some point, assuming he comes sound. And I also can promise that I do have another video coming of meeting my lease horse, who I've been leasing through just this month so far. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Here's to riding every stride.